All right, so I'm walking out of the hotel into all this chaos again. It's already like noon, and the reason for that is not because I slept in too late, it's because I'm making a change to the end of the trip. So originally I was supposed to go from here, this is Chongqing, China, in Sichuan province, to Xi'an. Xi'an is where the terracotta warriors are, and it's like a ancient town, ancient city, and about an hour away with like a shuttle bus, basically this tourist like a experience is the terracotta warriors, and you see everything. Anyway, to go from here to Xi'an to Beijing adds like 12 hours on a high-speed rail. So like it's 5.5 hours to 6 hours to Xi'an, and then 5.5 hours to 6 hours from Xi'an to Beijing. And that's including like in the train station and all that stuff. So that basically eats an entire day of the trip just being on a high-speed rail. And as much as the terracotta warriors seem cool, I don't think it's worth that big of a budget cut for time, because time is the real currency here while I'm in China, right? So I just bought a flight to fly directly from here to Beijing. So I'm going to cut out Xi'an entirely, and while in Beijing I'm going to have 5 full days. So what I'm going to do is, originally when I was planning this trip, I wanted to go to Datong. But to go from Chongqing to Datong was a really big pain. It would have added all this stops and stuff on the airlines. But to go from Beijing on a high-speed rail to Datong is not hard. It's like 2 hours on a high-speed rail. And there's a couple other cities near Beijing that are really cool. So in Beijing, I'm going to be able to see all the sights of Beijing, the Great Wall, then go on a hike for the wild Great Wall. I want to go on a real hike, and Beijing has real hikes. And then I can hit Datong in one other city in Beijing. And I think that that is a better trade-off than burning a whole day to see one experience with the terracotta warriors, which, while that's cool, it's just one thing, and it's going to be a huge crowd and a bunch of tour groups and stuff. So I think this is a better bet. So tomorrow I'm flying at like 11 o'clock, and I wanted to make an early flight, but because of the trouble that I have with checking in, it's just not worth the risk to miss a flight. So if you see my my Xiamen to Chengdu video, it's for foreigners to fly. You can't check in online, so you have to stand in the. It's a big pain anyway. So I'm going to get into Beijing at like 2 in the afternoon, I think, and then the train is a little bit farther away because there's 2 airports in Beijing. There's a new one and an old one. I'm flying into the new one, which is a little farther away. So anyway, that's the plan. So the reason I'm starting late today is because I decided last night and set it up this morning that I'm going to fly straight to Beijing. So I'm actually really excited for that. I was a little bit hesitant about the Xi'an stop the whole time. I knew that it was going to eat up a lot of time, and so now I'm cutting it out entirely, and it saves. It adds a lot more to the trip than I think I had before. And Datong looks so cool. Okay, so I'm going to go walk to this people's monument here that's like right next to my hotel. That's what most of these people are doing. They're going there and then eating around here. And then I want to see People's Park today. I want to go on this monorail that goes through a building that looks pretty cool. I want to take the cable car. So there's 3 like cool view things that I can do. There's the cable car, there is the cruise that looks awesome, and then there's this thing called Raffle City, or Eye in the Clouds. It's like a skyscraper where you could go up to the observation deck basically. So I'll probably do 2 of those things. I'm leaning towards the cable car and the cruise, honestly. And there's also the world's largest hot pot here, but it's about 35 minutes by taxi away, and it's just like a theme park kind of deal. So it sounds cool. I might do it, but I might not do it because, one, I don't really think hot pot is the best Chinese cuisine. There's a lot better stuff in my opinion. And 2, it's just a huge circus basically. It's a big parking lot kind of deal with a gigantic restaurant that doesn't have anything else there other than the restaurant, right? So I'm going to figure out what I want to do at night around dinner time, and if there's nothing else to do, I've hit everything, then I'm going to go to that world's largest hot pot. But anyway, on to seeing this monument. I'll walk back through here at night, but at night, if you look at the top of these buildings here, I don't know if you can see it on the wide angle, but there's these laser lights basically, and they shoot this like crazy light beam deal onto the monument. It looks really cool. I'm actually not sure what these cables are. I wasn't here. I didn't walk exactly through this last night with the cables, but maybe that's part of it. Maybe it's part of a show where they shoot something on the cables, but there's 4 cables connecting to each one of these corners right here. All right, so I need to walk back through where I just came to go to People's Park. Apparently it's pretty cool. It's just a little park near here, so I'm gonna check that out. Also, yesterday in the last video, I was feeling like a little bit burned out of the crowds. Now I feel energized. It's all good. I think just over time, eventually you'll hit a point if you're traveling this much and you're constantly in massive crowds of people that you just get kind of sick of it. But it's all positive, and I feel juiced up today. I feel like the change to the Beijing thing is a really positive turning point, and I'm really interested to see. I was really bummed out that I was going to miss Datong when I cut it originally from the trip, so now we can do it. It looks so cool. It's like built into the mountain. Anyway, onto this park. I'm searching for the macadamia eggs. Dang, they don't have them. So these cages on a lot of the apartment windows, I'm like 99% sure these are not security cages. These are like utility cages. Everybody uses them to like plant little plants so you can hang your laundry out there to dry. There's no crime in China and there's no home burglaries, and I mean if you're up there, I don't even know how somebody would get to your window. These are for utility, so people can do their thing and put their plants and stuff out there. Maybe like a cat. I bet a cat would love that. I think these are more singles. Like in Chengdu, in the People's Park there, they had the matchmaking corner. I think that's the same thing. Here's my friend right here. Say hello.
Hello.
Yeah, so I talked to that guy and he said that's exactly what that is. For dating. Oh, that's what's going on all over here. This whole thing is people dating. Look, there's this person's holding up the thing. All these bushes are. Oh, this is her son.
Oh my God.
I have a feeling that it's a lot of parents and not the kids themselves putting the profiles up. They're like out here searching for boyfriends and girlfriends for their kids. Yeah, like here's a mom. These people have stamps over their face for some reason. These ones too, they have stamps over their face. I have a feeling there's a lot of fake profiles going on in this, for sure. This has got their body weight on it, which is pretty interesting. That must be in pounds, right? I mean, this is obviously not kilograms. And what are they using pounds? I wonder if there's another unit of weight that they're talking about. This is definitely weight. I remember this from my vocab. So, and this is their height. There's definitely something going on over here. It gets way more crowded on this section over here. We gotta check it out. I think these are the actual people looking to date, and they're just holding their profile up in the park, which is really hardcore. Can you imagine that? You just stand there with your profile and hope that somebody walks by, and I think it's you want their mom to walk. It looks like a lot of older ladies. So I think you want their mom to walk by and she talks to you, it looks like, and they evaluate whether or not you're worthy for their son or daughter. Which is, man, can you imagine being rejected in that? It's one thing to get rejected by a person, but to have their mom and dad come and say, no, I'm sorry, you're not good enough. That's insane. Yeah, here's this guy, look. And it's some moms, and they're asking him about himself. Jeez. You gotta have some thick skin, man. And there's more down here, you can see. It's a lot less of a crowd, but there's a lot more posters. This is way bigger than the Chengdu one. The Chengdu one was one little alley, and it was much more structured, like there were just blue and pink posters on this one walkway. But this is the actual people who want a date standing there, like this guy, and a mom is talking to him to see if he's appropriate, or maybe they're going to date each other. That's very interesting. That was one of the more interesting things I've seen in China, for sure. That's really cool. That's the kind of stuff I'm looking for, is more of that. Not that the lights aren't cool, but that is what I want to see. So next I'm going to go to a museum here, the Three Gorges Museum, I think. And there's some other stuff in that area too that looks pretty cool. So I'm going to take the metro, and it's like 30 minutes away or something. So. Yesterday in the last Chongqing video, I made this comment about male aggression in China, my experience with it. And I had this hunch, basically, that I said in the last video, if you watched it, that I think that there are not a lot of fist fights in China. And one of the reasons, obviously, is that China doesn't really tolerate social disorder like that. as you'd see in the West, like in the United States, because if you get in a fist fight, the consequences are severe, right? It's not just usually maybe one person gets arrested, you say, all right, was this a mutual disagreement, are you willing to walk away, like it is in the United States? I think it's real bad, right? Like maybe your employer could find out, it could jeopardize your ability to get housing. Anyway, I was gonna delete that video, but I thought longer about it last night, and that the reason I bought this camera, the reason I'm filming is so that I can remember the things that I saw when I was here, and also what I thought while I was going through China, and the differences that I experienced within China versus in the United States. So I'm gonna leave it in, but I wanna expand on that a little bit since people seem to watch some of these videos, and I wanna flesh out my thoughts a little bit. What I'm talking about is sort of like this concept of group selection. If you've ever read Steven Pinker's books, he didn't coin it, but he popularized it a lot in a lot of his popular science books. And the idea is effectively just like in individual human evolution, that groups themselves evolve, and specifically the way that they deal with things like social disorder or rules in general. So for example, if you had a tribe that lived in Mesopotamia and everybody just did whatever they wanted all the time, that tribe probably would not succeed in the way that a tribe that had some kind of order did. And the concept behind group selection is that the way that this order becomes advantageous is through internal policing, right? Sort of like vigilante justice. So if everybody else is following the rules and humans have an innate sense of justice and somebody is violating those, that person would be dealt with vigilante justice, some kind of conflict, maybe violence. So when you have a very policed state like China has a monopoly on violence. The rules are different. And in the United States, we have organizations, institutions that want this, but that do not have it. Two examples are school and the airline industry. So for example, you've probably seen videos on the internet of people behaving really bad in airports on the plane. And the idea is that if somebody is really being aggressive towards you personally in an airport, you have a calculation going on in your mind. You're like, okay, well, violence cannot be an option here because I'm going to get banned from this airline. And that person knows it too. So they're really willing to push the boundaries a little bit because in their mind, they don't expect that this could escalate to physical violence. And I'm talking specifically among adult men, right? And you see it in schools too. Like if you ever went to school, there was always, that brat kid who would put his finger in your face and say, technically, I'm not breaking the rules. You can't touch me. There's kind of a little bit of that going on in China. Now, 99% of people are wonderful and they enjoy the order and they behave in a way that fits completely into this sort of justice system. But there's a very small subset, and in group selection, they would call this leeches. It's called leeches in the parlance of group selection. And these are people that they're almost even more aware of the rules than the people who follow them. Like most people, they don't, read the statute of the law. They just say, I'm going to conduct myself in a way that I'm sure is within the bounds of social order and the laws. And these leeches are willing to push it with you. So for example, like the barkers outside of bars or some of the people in crowds, or even the way that you can get like a nasty stare for an extended period of time, those don't happen in the West because something could escalate in the United States. Whereas in China, it's not even in the realm of possibility that you could do something, like a punch is going to be thrown. So they're really willing to push it. Because in their mind, they know that for you to do anything about it, your only options are be docile and just be the victim of this person's behavior, or you have to go find the teacher, right? You need to go tell a stewardess. You need to get a police officer involved. And when you're in a crowd or it's 11 o'clock at night or something, the burden for you to do this is so great that this person knows you're almost certainly not going to do anything. So they're just going to push it with you. And I'm not trying to say that this happens all the time. It's very rare. But this never happens in the United States. Virtually never. And it's not happening never in China. So I just wanted to flesh out my thoughts on there in case somebody saw that and was confused or thought that I was like dissing China or something. I'm not saying that. I'm saying there's a difference in male behavior, male aggression in social settings in China that different from the West, and I just found it curious, right? It's something that is notable, and it's interesting to me. By no means am I gonna, escalate a situation. I'm gonna walk away. Obviously, I don't want to be banned from China. I love visiting here, but I did want to sort of elaborate on that a little bit. If somebody caught that video and was confused as what I was saying, this is what I'm talking about here. But I'm not trying to be negative. This isn't meant to be a negative comment, but I do want to remind myself later when I watch these to remember China, what I was thinking, and I think this is a lot better elaboration of what I was trying to say in the last video. So I'll shut up now, no more negativity. I'm gonna go to this museum, which looks really cool. I just got off of the train station and it's under this bridge on the river. It's really beautiful, so I think it's about 5 minutes walking, and I'm gonna head there now. I think I'm going there. I'm in this long underground tunnel. There are red ribbons tied on all the vents, and in 2 of my hotels they have that too. On the air conditioner vents, the red ribbon on all of them, every one of them. This is really cool out here. Also, I wanted to mention, I had this dream last night where in Xiamen, I got my haircut for like $3. And for some reason, I had this dream that I got my haircut here because my hair is real short. And it was like longer, and I had like a bowl cut, like Lloyd from Dumb and Dumber, like a crazy bowl cut. And I was walking around filming, and everybody was just pointing and laughing their ass off at me. And I was like, why is everybody laughing? And then I saw a mirror and I saw the bowl cut. I don't know why I just remembered that, but yeah, that was a crazy dream. So the map just calls this government building here, Chongqing government building. I think that's a museum over there. This guy has roller skates, but they are sideways. So the wheels are facing perpendicular to his toes. I'm gonna get a shot of him if I can get closer. They wouldn't let me film it, but in one of the other videos I talked about if you smoke cigarettes and you're in China, you will never have to pay for a lighter the entire time you live in China. So right there at the security point, there's a box, a cardboard box. I don't know how deep the box is, but it is filled at least several inches just with lighters. And you can leave one and get one. At all the airports outside, there's a rim of lighters outside of the little smoking ashtrays. Every security checkpoint in a metro, there's like lighters and stuff. So it's just free lighters wherever you go in China. They wouldn't let me film it, but there's a box there of lighters at the security point. Also, I didn't have to pay for this. Normally, when you go as a foreigner to a museum, anything owned by the government, I cannot scan the QR code because I don't have a Chinese phone number. If you have a Chinese phone number, you have to also have a Chinese ID pass. So either way, even if I got a China mobile phone number, I still have to go to the passport line And so I said, hey, where's the ticket counter for the foreigner? And he just moved the gate and let me in. So I'm not sure what that's about, but I think it's a little bit more informal here, possibly. I didn't see a ticket counter at all, so. That girl's blogging, live blogging, and reading her chat. So this is one of my vocab words, Gong Yuan. I think that means AD. So I think Gong Yuan Qian means before AD. I think that's BC. So if somebody sees this and I'm wrong, correct me, but I think that's Gong Yuan Qian. I think that's BC 475. Wow, I think. I've got this really beautiful oil post-impressionist painting of the three gorges. Really cool. So this section is talking about in the 1930s, Chongqing was the central hub for this war of resistance, or one of the hubs, basically, to resist Japanese imperial aggression. So in all of these historical snippets, they refer to World War II as the global anti-fascist war. It doesn't say World War II in any of these notes here. This is money from 200 BC. Wow. These are from 8,000 BC. That's crazy. I always wonder how they know that something is a tool and not just like a rock. Like this? How do you know that's a tool? Like that's obviously a tool, that right there. But those, some of those just look like rocks. I don't know. I'm not an archaeologist. Okay, that's the museum. I think this is probably the coolest museum that I've been to here in China. I went to quite a few museums. They were all pretty good, but this one was really cool. I am going to go now to the Liziba monorail, I guess. It goes through a building. Looks like it's only about 15 to 20 minutes away from here. There's a subway station right next to it. It's not really obvious where the monorail is with the Maps app that I'm using, so I'm just gonna go to that area, the sightseeing platform, and see if it's got to be there, right? So we're gonna do that, and then there's another cool like sightseeing cliff, I guess, that's in the area that I'm gonna check out after. I completely forgot about the Great Hall over there. I'm gonna walk over to that and see what's up, if we can get inside of it or not. It's really big. I'm gonna eat here in this food court. I'm getting chicken and 2 eggs instead of eating snacks. I think this is just like fast food. This one's not very good. This is probably the worst Chinese meal I've had so far. It's all right. Ticket. So I said it at the museum thing, but when you're a foreigner, if you don't have a Chinese ID and a Chinese cell phone number, both of those, not either or, you need to use the separate passport office, and you just hand them your passport and then you pay with Alipay. I paid 8 RMB for this. That's a little over $1. It's like $1.25 or something. I don't know if these people are just kind of chilling or if there's a show in here or something, but it looks like all of the equipment is just set up on the stage. I can't imagine there's going to be a show or anything. I guess it costs $1 just to go into the atrium thing. There's huge wings on the other side of the atrium, but I don't see that there's any entryway into that allowed. There are wooden doors, but they do not look like they are for tourists, so I think that's it. I think you pay $1 to go sit in that atrium, I guess. I'm not sure. Okay, yeah, I think that's it. That's one of the more interesting ticketed things that I've done. Now I'm going to go to the Liziba monorail, I think. I put in Liziba into the map app. I'm using A-Maps, by the way. If anybody is traveling China, this is one of the maps that works really well. It's like Google Maps, basically, but it's designed for China. It does very good directions. It tells you when to go in an underpass. It knows when I'm in a subway terminal and not on the ground above it. So I put in Liziba into there, and it had a scenic platform, and it had the Liziba metro station, which is a regular metro. So they're right next to each other. I can't imagine that the monorail is very far from that. If it is, then I gotta Google or something. But that's where I'm gonna go. I'm gonna take the metro to the Liziba metro station, and then go walk over to the scenic area. And if the monorail is not in either of those things, then I'll pivot. So for the girls dressed up like that, like an anime thing, I see two main aesthetics. I see like that, I don't know what, I'm not an anime guy. I think it's, I don't know what you call it, but it's like a baby doll, like a doll. And then the other one is like really, really detailed, authentic, like school uniform is what I see. Which sometimes I can't even tell if they are dressed up like anime or if that's their actual school uniform, but it's like meticulous school uniform or that doll thing with the wig and all that. It's pretty common. I see it a lot. So this thing here looks like the monorail here. I mean, that is a monorail. Right there. I don't know if I'm going to the right place. I think that's just the line 10 or something. So I guess this is the monorail. The metro here is the monorail, so you just take the monorail to Liziba from here and you'll go through a building and it ends at a station where there's a cool viewing platform. So I think we're about to figure that out by going on this. There are people down in the river swimming. You can see they have those little orange buoy things. That was kind of neat. It's just the subway, regular metro. There's a lot of people down on this boardwalk area below looking at the monorail go into the building. I think that's more the tourist thing to do. And that's the sightseeing platform. So I may go down there. I may skip that since we actually just went on the monorail. And I'm bleeding or something. That's interesting. Oh, cool. Look at this thing. It's a kind of cool building right here. But yeah, the next place I have scheduled is to go to the Iling, E-L-I-N-G, cliff and viewing area. So I'm not quite sure how far away that is. I'm going to look it up right now and see what the deal is.
李子坝鱼兜兜文创礼品馆欢迎您。
Check this out. It's like fudge, but it's chili. It's like a chili fudge cake. Maybe I'll try one of those in a little bit. It looks very, very heavy though. And look at the brick you buy. You don't get like a little slice. You get like a... Wow, you could buy a huge one. I don't want to see nutritional information. I just want to eat it. There's a big viewing platform up there. That might be where we're going. Elling Park. So that is Liziba station. And somehow I could have gotten off the train and went here, so. There's a gas station in this tunnel. I missed it, but you can see there's like a hidden staircase in between all this construction is where we need to go on. This is pretty cool. It looks like that game The Last of Us or something, where it's just like overgrown, abandoned apartment complexes. Look at this, cool. Those girls went in the men's restroom and they freaked out and were laughing. So I guess this is the toilet, so I think in that creepy stairs is where you actually go up. The park is up that way. I'm going to go that way, but I'm going to check out this sidewalk over here first. Looks pretty cool. All over the place are these massive retaining walls, like a grid of concrete retaining wall. Look at this. Just in the middle of nowhere, there's like a little tea shop and this viewing platform. no railing here. It's a really high fall. The gate to get out is locked. So, that looks like it's locked too, doesn't it? That's where we just were down there. I didn't film it, but that gate right there, I had to squeeze through that little hole right there. This is the stairs for test bed 2. I'm not sure what that is. So it looks like test bed 2 is a rooftop above this. The people are going up. So it looks like test bed 2 is a art exhibit here, a free art museum, art gallery. I refuse to believe that all these people walked up those stairs. There's got to be like a tour bus thing. So there's a road coming up back there to this area, dropping people off. So I think a lot of people took taxis, or I think there's like a bus service shuttle that comes up here and drops them off here, because there was not this many people on the stairs. There's no shot. Looks like some League of Legends anime stuff going on. It's actually really cool on the inside of that tea shop there. Aesthetic. Shout out DJI, there's my camera right there. I just read, so it's December 28th or something, they just banned DJI drones in the United States.
也可以去那边顺便逛一下。
I've seen a million little shopping areas since I've been in China, and this is the coolest one by far. Really cool. There's like an art scene up here, and there's like an art gallery, and all the shops are really, the style is really cool. Like, I'm pretty sure this is like a throwback store where you can buy like old snacks and stuff from China. These look like very old. And you could buy like old candy and stuff. People in there seem to be having a blast. And that chocolate store, oh my God, it's so good. They have little samples. I need to stay away from that because I'm going to buy a big chunk of it. And you can go up to all these viewing platforms here. You can just walk up them. I think I'll walk up that one. Why not? Not for me. It's a little bit too transparent on the steps. I'm gonna turn around. It's all good. There's other views. There's a rooftop thing up here. It's like 200 RMB. Okay, I'm on my way to the river night cruise. It's like 5 p.m. right now. It probably gets dark in like an hour, so I'll be able to see sunset on the river cruise, which could be cool. So I'm getting a taxi just because it was like a labyrinth getting down here. And even though the maps says it's the same time to take the taxi that it is to take the metro, I don't believe that at all. I have to walk all the way down those steps and where I was getting lost and all that. So even though that was fun, it's nice to do it once. So I'm just going to take a taxi to this river night cruise, and that should be really awesome. I think it's like $9, it seems like. So I'm not sure if I buy it now or what the situation is, but you can get it on trip.com, so that's usually really helpful. Okay, I'm out of the taxi and I'm here. I'm not sure I'm at the right cruise place, and this staircase goes down to some... Okay, this is not it. There's no way. Okay, I will keep looking. So I think the way that it works is this is the ferry terminal, and there's multiple boats down there. And one of them is the boat that I bought, but there's a long line with security here. And I'm not exactly sure what's going on, but I have 25 minutes to cancel the ticket. So I'll walk down here for 20 minutes, and if I can't figure it out, I'll just cancel it and I'll buy a ticket at the ticket counter or something. So that was a huge hassle. It was like 5 guys, one of them was a cop, and they were so confused, and I kept saying, I bought this because I'm a foreigner, and trip.com, I had a QR code and everything, whatever. And finally they just said, how much did you pay for it? And I said, about 80 RMB. And they said, okay, go ahead. So I'm not sure why. There's 2 segregated lines here. I'm not sure what the difference is, but I don't even know if I'm getting on the right boat. like maybe my boat was actually down the road or something. I have no idea, but I'm past the ticket thing and I'm going on some boat. So it's an adventure, right? Anyway, it's funny. But while I was in the taxi here, I was trying to look up hikes in Beijing because I don't really want to go on another like curated hike with cable cars and stuff. I want to go on a real hike on a real mountain and so that is like a ferry and I can't get on that one. I guess I get on this other one. I don't really know what the difference is, so there are 4 different boat terminals. That one looks more like an actual ferry. This one looks kind of like the Bund in Shanghai boat that I took. So who knows? I don't actually know if this is what I bought, but I think next time I'm just gonna forget trip.com and buy the ticket here and see if they'll take my passport or something. Okay, so the actual QR scanner person is right there and it scans. So this is the correct boat tour. I guess they just don't communicate with the security people. It's pretty nice. Little lobby area. Very fancy. There's just pictures of people's butts here. their butts are out. They've got like food and stuff you can order here at this restaurant. Oh, I think it's just a buffet. I think maybe it includes snacks and stuff. So check it out. I got my snacks here. This is not a pingguo. Not an apple. Somebody said it was called a guai. So that'd be cool to check out. These were in the hotel. So this ticket thing is very confusing. There's some kind of separate ticket that's like VIP or something. I didn't see that available on trip.com, and they wanted an extra, like double basically, like an extra $12 to sit at that table and eat that apple. So I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna stand at the top or something. I'm not exactly sure where I'm allowed to stand. So here's a separate area that's got a different situation going on. So I don't know if I can sit at these tables or what the deal is, but I'm just gonna stand here. So this is the 3rd story of the boat. There's a massive crowd. All the seats were taken by the time that I realized that this was the section I was supposed to be in, but you can sit down there. And then this is the back railing and it's just like packed with people. Maybe it'll clear out when the view of this Hongyadan is on the other side or something. A lot of people are just taking pictures of this. taking pictures.
对，就这样，看我。
游客朋友，请藏好自己的随身行李物品，到一楼大。
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. That was cool, really cool views. I think the sunset one is probably the best. I'm sure the night one is just insane, crazy. That was pretty crowded. But I think I'm gonna skip the cable car. I actually saw the cable car while I was on that boat, and it's kind of lame. I don't know if that's the only cable car, but that's the only one I've seen. And it just goes like right across kind of a not cool area. And when I was looking at the cable car, however, where it lands in the south section, so there's a north part that I was last night, and then there's a middle island where like everything is, where my hotel is, all that. That's where Raffle City is. And then to the south of that, there's more bridges. There's really cool stuff right around where that cable car is. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna skip that hot pot restaurant because it's super far away. It takes at least like an hour and 15 minutes total travel there and back. It's up some mountain in the dark with a cab driver. I'm not really feeling it. Plus I don't really like hot pot that much. There's really cool places to eat right here, and I think what I'm gonna do is go to that Raffle City lookout point because that looked awesome. I don't know if you could see in the video, but there's like this sort of city wall looking thing. I don't know if it's a real city wall or if it's a replica, but it's a really cool looking wall thing with a huge gate. That looks cool. And then over there on the south side next to where the cable car is, it's called the Artifact Park or something like that. It's called Kaibu Relics Park, I guess. Like when I was looking at it, I pulled up the maps and I tried to find exactly what I was looking at. I'm pretty sure that's it, or it's near there. So I'm gonna go head out there and check that out, and it'll probably be late enough to go back to the hotel, probably get some food at some point. And tomorrow I have that flight to Beijing because I changed up my trip. Look how many people are trying to get off right now. Anyway, that was cool. Cold though. Wow, that was cold out there. I think that this empties right out into that chaos from last night near Hongyudong. Just the absolute madness of those huge crowds. And it's Saturday night, so it's probably even worse. Maybe there's like a secret path or something. Gaming. Those boys are gaming. Tall Russian guy ahead of me has got the same idea. I saw him last night because he's super tall, and him and his girlfriend are probably trying to avoid the crowd that we were both in last night. This hotspot smells really good. But man, that chili oil vapor, that just clings to your clothes. It's crazy. It's really good, but you gotta like have a laundry situation that I don't have right now. It's just absolutely packed with people. I don't know how I'm gonna get out of here. It's crazy. Just a sea of people. These iPad guys are out here and they walk around like showing you shots. Here's another one of people that they took a picture of, and they have like a Nice camera, and they sell the photos. They're everywhere. The iPad people. Here's one. I feel like this is way less bad than last night. Last night was worse than this for sure. I don't know if the camera can pick these up here, but there's like 6 or 7 drones, I'm pretty sure, right there floating over the city, the tip of the city there. They're really high. Maybe it's helicopters or something. No, they gotta be, they're getting very close to each other. I think they're just really massive drones or something. I don't think you can see it on the camera. It's blue dots like right here. There's a staircase here and it's completely pitch black. I can't even see the steps. Okay.
好来，两江油开夜景，坐游船的抓紧时间哈，游船。还不得两江油。
大不得不进。
I'm pretty sure right there. There. I think that's the hot pot restaurant, the giant thing on top of that mountain. Pretty sure. This is just another big retail mall. I might check it out for a couple of minutes and see if there's any good food or something. But I'm not going to spend a ton of time in here because there's like infinity malls in China and I've seen half of them. And they're all pretty samey. I feel like the IFS that I went to last night was empty because I think most people, if they go to the mall, they just go here. It seems like there's a lot more people. So this opens up to what looks like an outdoor food bazaar on both sides. It's not outdoors. Chongqing 小面调料、涪陵大概等。
我们这下12点，比这下10点。Okay, I got lost on the way to the metro and I found this really cool restaurant here. It's like in between all these apartment complexes. This is legit for sure. And they didn't even really have Meitu on the app, so that's how you know it's real. So I used this thing and I got stir fry beef and kung pao chicken, and they even had Coke Zero, so pretty cool. apartment has the meats drying up there on their little windowsill thing. It's pretty cool.
Here's the beef with rice, and then I got kung pao chicken and some green beans too. This was crazy good. It's literally right above this subway platform here, just like in a corner somewhere. And there was like a little dog that he wears a dinosaur outfit, and he just like lives around the corner and comes and hangs out. And the cats were terrorizing him, but he was like old and didn't really care. But anyway, God, that was so good. I'm legitimately full for the first time in the whole trip. I just kept eating, and the green beans are super fresh. Anyway, that might be number 2. It still has not beaten. Nothing has beaten that place in Shanghai. The final Shanghai video at the very end, I go to this like hole in the wall that all these Meituan drivers were outside eating at, and I got this like cold beef with spices on it, and it was so good. But that place is second, and then third is in Chengdu, that Mama's Leg place, or Grandma's Leg, just like below this overpass thing, was awesome. So the food here is definitely good. It's just every time there's a little bit of a difficulty ordering. So in that place specifically, if you want to use the QR code, you can only order one of 2 family meals, like this gigantic huge thing that feeds 6 people. And then if you want to order individually, there's a piece of paper and she marks it with a pen. So I did she helped me do the pen marking thing. But man, that was good. I'm like uncomfortably full. Oh, it was great. So during that dinner also, I was doing some planning and some Googling, and I think I have like a pretty, not finished, but like a solid plan. So fly to Beijing tomorrow. Then I have 5 full days to do stuff, and then I'm flying to LA. So fly to Beijing tomorrow, do Beijing stuff. Wake up the next day, do a whole bunch of other Beijing things. Then I'm gonna go to Datong and spend the whole day there, but not sleep there. The next day, I'm gonna do a Great Wall hike. I think there's a couple hiking options. There's a lot of Great Wall ones. One is really touristy, I'm not gonna do that. One is basically illegal and very dangerous, I'm not gonna do that one. There's an in-between one that's not very touristy and it's more kind of rugged. Or there's a mountain that takes 3.5 hours to get to with a bus and a taxi. So I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do there. But one day is going to be totally dedicated to like a real hike that's less touristy. Then I think I'm going to go to Tianjin the next day. There's a couple cities around Beijing that are really cool, but Tianjin looks the coolest, I think, outside of Datong. And then the final day I'm going to spend finishing up all the rest of the Beijing city things that I didn't do the first full Beijing day, and then I fly home and the trip's over. Oh no. But 5 full days, that's a vacation in itself, right? That's a whole working week. So I'm really, really excited, and I really think I made the right decision by pivoting from Xi'an, because I'm getting 2 more cities and a crazy hike in exchange for the Terracotta Warriors, which I think that's a good trade for sure. There's a dog up here with a collar, but he's walking by himself. This guy's got a collar on. So to my right, past this construction wall, down this hill is the river walk. So I'm trying to find an outlet to the river walk and then walk up the relic park that I'm going to, but this road is just like a regular kind of little 3-lane or 4-lane highway or something. So I want to get through this wall. Unnamed road.
Turn right. Turn right.
Turn right. Ain't no way.
In 50 meters, turn left 110 meters remaining to your destination.
I don't understand how this place is not more popular than that walk in front of Hangyadan. This is a crazy spot. There's nobody here. It's Saturday night and it's just empty. They're having a good time. It's Saturday night at 9:30. I cannot believe this place is empty. This is blowing my mind. Looks like a really swanky hotel area. Okay, I'm gonna walk back down to the bottom to the Riverwalk and see what's up there. Okay, this is shocking me. So this is a really nice hotel called the Kaibu Huajianfu Shunji at the top of that. But it honestly, like, if you go to Chongqing, I would just go here instead of Hongyedan. This is way better. And I don't know how much it is to stay at that hotel, but if it's even remotely reasonable, that'd be a really cool place to stay. I'm kind of jealous. I might look up how much the rooms are there. Obviously it's more than the $27 that I'm spending on my room, which is a great room for $27. But this area is breathtaking. It's on the top of this hill. It's really low key. It's got these unbelievably cool restaurants all over the place. There's like a karaoke thing that's popping over there. It's great. I was really curious, so I tried to look up how much that hotel is. It's called the Traces Hotel, and I looked from now until like September in 2026 next year, and it was sold out of every room. So I have no idea how expensive it is, but regardless of the price, you basically can't get a room there. You have to book like a year in advance, I guess. But what a beautiful hotel. Even if you could get one in this area, it'd be nice. Also, I'm lost again. Okay, I think I found it. I'm gonna go back down this way. Yeah, the Traces Hotel, it's called. Another really cool bar restaurant area with like one person eating in there. There's like nobody here. Look at this awesome little cafe thing with a crazy view, and there's barely anybody eating here. And this view. Crazy. It's called Opening Port Heritage Park. This is the secret spot. If you come to Chongqing and you want a really cool chill dinner or something with an incredible view, this is the spot to be. There's nobody here Saturday night. There's a couple people eating at that cafe there that looks really cool, and that's about it. Look at this.
So I'll probably have put a little note earlier in the video since I write down where I went when I edit the videos, but this area is called Nanbin Road. And this is like criminally underpopulated. It's so cool. Like there's this little market here and the neon and everything. I think this is way better than the area that I'm at near Hanyadong and everything like that. This is really nice. It's not another retail spot too, which is not just like a bunch of Louis Vuitton stuff. It's really walkable. There's couples here. This is the spot to go to if you're in Chongqing. This goes into the water. This can't be right. No way. This is very confusing, but it's cool. Looks really awesome. This is crazy. I'm so lost. There's a whole new road and everything.
Based on the card's phone orientation, the direction is on your left. In 50 meters, left.
There's the metro. Okay, that was the last stop, and then I'm gonna head home and get a shot of the People's Monument. There's like a crazy light laser show. It's about 10:45 at night, which is later than I wanted to get back. I'm flying to Beijing tomorrow. The flight's at like 11:40. I need to get there pretty early because of the whole check-in situation, so I should probably pack tonight and be ready for that. But man, what a trip to Chongqing. I feel like I saw a ton, but this city I don't feel like I saw everything I could have seen because it's so hard to get around, but definitely really experienced a lot of cool stuff. That Nanbin Road, man, I'm so glad I went there. There's that chili fudge again. It's like fudge that's chili. I was buying water in that convenience store and I almost bought this little mini Snickers bar. And then I was like, nah, I probably shouldn't eat this. I had a big dinner tonight. And now I left there and now I wish I had got the mini Snickers. Oh no. So it's Saturday night at 11:15 p.m. so pretty late, and this place is packed. This is right where my hotel is, up there in that building, I think. And just contrast this to what Nanbin Road was like 2 hours earlier. More prime time. It was empty. So people only go on this island, it seems. Everywhere else I've gone has been completely empty except for this main area in Chongqing. It's wild. Even though there's all that nice infrastructure everywhere else, beautiful restaurants, it's all just flocking here. Which has to include people who live here, right? Because if they got sick of this zone, they would go to those other areas because they're more low-key, right? But no, it just seems like the whole city swarms this one area. It's very interesting to me. Okay, finally back in the hotel. That was a long day. There was a lot of stuff that I didn't put on camera at the beginning of the day, like administrative stuff with planning and all that, but it is like almost 11:30. I'm back way too late, especially since I need to get to the airport early tomorrow, but that was awesome. I thought that museum was
I think it was the coolest museum I've seen in China so far. It was really awesome. And the style, I don't know much about sculpture style, but it was like abstraction, impressionist sculpture style. Really cool, anyway. And then Nanbin Road. Nanbin Road is a sleeper. If you ever go to Chongqing, go to Nanbin. God, that's so cool. Anyway, tomorrow is Beijing. I'm going to try to smash as many things as I can that tomorrow afternoon. And then I think I'm either going to do the hike the next day or Beijing day, full Beijing day the next day. But I only have like 5 full adventure days left of the trip. Tomorrow's a travel day technically, and then my final day I'm flying to LA. So this has been the craziest vacation of my life, and I can't believe I actually did it. There was times that I thought that I was just going to say, oh, it's not worth it, because I study like 2 to 3 hours every single day. I know it might not seem like it when I'm here, and I actually thought that this was going to be like a supercharge. I thought that my studying and my comprehensible input and the reading that I do and the vocab, there's a process effectively. I thought that, when I get to China, it's going to supercharge it all. But I actually think that I get way more language learning done at home. Here, you can really rely on English. You can rely on translator apps, and a lot of things are written in English too. So that's very interesting. And I'm trying to use it as much as possible, but I really am not supposed to start trying to speak until at least a year from now. So like almost 2 years into learning the language with the refold method. Anyway, I'm not going to ramble about refold method right now. I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to take a shower and try to wake up at the correct time. I cannot be late to the airport. There's no way that's a good idea, especially since the flight situation is weird. So anyway, thank you for everybody for watching. I'm obviously going to be one of the people watching in a year from now when I want to remember this. So that's why I try to film everything. And if you feel like making a comment, the ones that people have left are really nice. And I appreciate all the tips and the encouragement for the videos. Thank you.